I don't know who here supports AOC, likes her, thinks that she's all that in a bag of chips. Now, we've been saying for a while that what she really is an influencer who's posing as a federal legislator. She is not, and the fact that she is a federal legislator doesn't mean that she's any good at what she does, because she's not. She's actually, and I'm not talking about whether I like her or not. I'm only going based on the numbers. And what the numbers say is that she is a terrible legislator. Terrible. Doesn't really get anything done. And she decided to offer a opinion. Colin, can I have that? Can I have the picture screen shots, please? She decided to offer her opinion about what's going on right now. I don't know who AOC's PR people are, who advises her, who tells her what she should say, what she shouldn't say. But what I can say is that she really thinks that people do not remember anything that she says or votes that she's cast. No, well, that's one way of looking at it. So AOC decided.
But you know what? You didn't say it though. I thought you would have said it. Okay.
What were you expecting me to say?
The name.
Oh, cash? Give me the cash! Damn those eyes. So AOC and googly eyes, being the incompetence that they are. But Alex decided to put out a statement saying today, the FBI and the NYPD disrupted a plot by a member of pro-Israel terrorist organization to assassinate Nurdin Kaswani. This is a reprehensible act of political violence. There is no place for it in our city, nor our country. I am thankful Ms. Kaswani is safe and the assailant is under arrest. As you guys know, not yet, Colin, not yet, not yet.
Don't start with Colin.
As you know, we end up every once in a while getting some really interesting guests on our show. One of the guests was Nurdin Kaswani. If you haven't seen our interview with her, which was from maybe, what would you say, 2.5 months ago?
Okay, like you're asking me for
yes, I'm asking the pothead to remember dates.
Have you lost your mind?
Trying.
I cannot tell you. I know that it's been in the past 2 years. I know that it's been since the Holocaust started.
So when Nurdin came on our channel, she mentioned the fact that Batar USA, in conjunction with the Israel Defense League, was coming after her relentlessly. Then she files a lawsuit shortly after coming on our show. And then the other day, somebody attempts to assassinate her that's connected to the organization. What a shock. And so Alex comes out and makes her statement, which of course she had to make. And Anna Kasparian, who is pulling no punches when it comes to Israel, decided to let Alex have it by saying, if you can now scroll a little bit, Colin, you should vote to send more money. You should vote to send Israel more money for weapons.
Wink.
Yeah. Yeah, that didn't sit well with
Facts is facts, though. And Anna wouldn't do that if she didn't have the receipts. Now, I do remember Alex ultimately signing shit where money did go to Ziohel. I know that.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't say, because I don't know the exact bills, and I don't
you remember the time that I went up to Alex on the floor and told her that you better change your vote or you're going to have a lot of problems.
And then she started crying in Barbara Lee's arms.
This is what I know, is that, and whatever your thoughts about Anna Kasparian, I've not met her. I've had certain issues about things she said before, but at the end of the day, if she puts that out, she has the receipts.
Yep.
So that means that Alex is lying. That's what I know. So
So the person who claims to be a federal legislator decided to act like a mean girl, which you've insisted for the longest time, Jen. Oh, she was on Christmas. That's right. You have always insisted that AOC is a mean girl. And I agree. I agree that she is. And here's more proof. Please scroll, Colin. I never have. Feel free to continue lying publicly, though. Those checks don't cash themselves, and you aren't talented enough to be relevant with the truth. First of all, the idea that a federal legislator would talk to a content creator like that, in my opinion, if this was the Tip O'Neill Democratic Party, he would tell her to get lost. Because that type of shit doesn't fly. That is as unbecoming of a federal legislator as you could possibly imagine. But again, it gets back to what we've been saying. She's not a federal legislator. She's an influencer masquerading as a federal legislator.
Alex, I don't know if she ever would watch our stuff. I don't know. And I've always said this. So
somebody in her orbit's watching it.
Look, I'm old enough to be her mother, and I gave her grace for a very long time for a lot of reasons. Namely, when she got into this, her brain was only just starting to be fully developed age-wise. And now I'm so past that with her, because now I feel like she has become like a parody of what she was supposed to have actually been. And it's really unfortunate and just so wasteful of an opportunity and so shameful. But for her to lower herself, and yes, I do think to some extent, when you're in a position where you're an elected representative, you're there to represent New York, your district. You're there to represent your people of your district and do what they need you to be doing. Okay. And they don't need you to be engaging in bullshit with a content creator. And the fact that you're doing that and that's what your priorities are, or your content, is not going to serve you and get you elected. It isn't. You're showing your whole ass. You look juvenile because you are. And when you do that, now Anna is going to come with the receipts. You shouldn't have done that. Because even, let me tell you something, I'll mess with some people sometimes. Anna Kasparian really shouldn't be one of them. It's just stupid.
Yeah. Colin, can you please pull up Anna's response to Alex's response?
I didn't even know there was one yet. And I anticipate this.
So hold on. You could go back to that for a second, Colin. You can go back to that for a second. Well, actually, you know what? Go to Anna's first, and then we'll come back to Alex, who was caught with her hand in the cookie jar. So this is what Anna responded to Alex's response with. Sure, I might be untalented. Up to others to decide. But I can deduce that voting no on legislation that would cut arms to Israel amounts to supporting U.S.-funded arms to Israel, as they carry out war crimes and atrocities daily. Those crimes are committed with zero fear of blowback thanks to the defensive capabilities Americans are forced to bankroll. In addition to voting no on that legislation last year, in 2021, you originally and correctly voted no on a bill to funnel an extra $1 billion to Israel on top of the $3.8 billion we already send them every year. You got a little pressure from your corrupt colleagues, changed your vote to present, and then wept about it. Wept about it, literally. Is that what?
Also, people go back and watch our episode that we did right around that present vote, and watch my rant about present. Continue, please.
Cowardly. Same with it. Same with Tulsi. Tulsi did the same thing. Is that what political talent looks like? Israel was enjoying an economic surplus that year. We, on the other hand, were not. As for cashing checks, I'd respectfully ask you to remember who pays yours. It's the people you're lying to right now.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Ooh. As I said, I would not get into the water with Anna. First of all, Alex, and I say that seriously as somebody that I'm trying to be as gracious as possible. You are so out of your league in terms of this particular fight. You don't want that. So out of your league.
It ain't Ted Cruz. It ain't Ted Cruz that you're arguing with. And even then, I remember a time, Alex, when Ted Cruz wanted to break bread with you on an important issue regarding military spending, that he was willing to try to talk to you, and you decided to insult him instead. No, when you're a federal legislator and a dumb fuck like Cruz comes to you looking to score some points, hey, if it means getting some important, tangible legislation passed, that's what your job is. That's why the senator from Vermont is known as the Amendment King, because I could do legislation with John McCain, even though we disagree on just about everything else, but we did a lot of good work for the veterans of this country. And that's the difference.
I don't know that she would come on our show. I don't think she would. We could ask her, but I don't think she would. And for somebody who was talking about Katie in the chat being another really good person, yes, she is. And guys, I'm going to try to get her on sooner rather than later to talk about this Cuba flotilla she just went on.
Yes, and Ryan Grimm was there with her as well, and so was Jeremy Corbyn. So we don't have to show the responses. You can imagine what they've been. Overwhelmingly behind Anna and against Alex. Alex has her sycophantic supporters, but the people who really know the score, and one of my favorite X accounts, Z Squirrel is one of the very best and always brings the receipt, shows that Alex is a liar on this. I think I'll just, that's funny. So Colin,
tell Mehdi, explain to Mehdi why Anna probably wouldn't come on our show. Give her at least a couple of the reasons, and there are several.
Because Anna decided to disparage Aaron Mate for doing real journalism when it came to what was going on in Damascus and whether or not Bashar al-Assad was dropping chemical weapons on his own people. We saw.
I made a graphic.
Yeah,
and called her. I made a graphic and called her a snowflake princess, but it was really regarding this one issue. But I will say that there have been so many times that we've talked about her in much more positive than that one time. Like, I've definitely covered her much more positive than that negative, truthfully. But that's not why I don't think she would come on. The reason I don't think she would come on is, one, she's very busy. She really is. She's busy, and this is like her livelihood. Yeah. And we are kind of small potatoes. And she just, I don't know. I just don't. I just don't think she would.
Now, this was a few years ago, so obviously things have changed. But hey, like I said, it's kind of like with Assad. It would be the same thing with Anna. Okay.
And I know she did, which is then, and when she did, I don't know if I said it just to you, Peter, or if I said it on the show, but I said, I wonder if now she'd be okay with me. Like, I don't know, because that was the thing that I called her out on, was how she talked about and to Aaron.
And Anna responded, and she did not like what Jen did. So, hey, you know what?
No, she was pissed.
And again, we're not here to it's if we're friends, we're friends. Again, for example, Grumbine is a friend of yours. I would consider Rothbone a friend. Like, I would hang out with Andrew. But that's not what this world is. This is not what it's designed to be. We're here for truth and justice. And there are people who refuse to say things about certain people because, well, they're my friend and I don't want to offend them. It's like, that's not what this is about.
Yes, she did. And she publicly apologized.
Yes. So there you have it.
And when that happened, I was very quick to say that I was very impressed with that. So, again, I have respect for her. I think that she, again, if she does the work and has the receipts and she just,
listen, we would have a conversation with Anna, absolutely. And then
absolutely. I just don't think she would. And again, I don't think it would be for any mean reason or I don't think that. I really don't. I think it would just be a matter of, it wouldn't necessarily be really worth it for her.
We'll see.
I just that simple. Yeah.
Colin, if you would. So I don't know if it was Z-Scroll who pulled this up or not, but this is from, yeah, that was it. You had it. This is from a year ago. Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment does nothing to cut off offensive aid to Israel, nor end the flow of U.S. munitions being used in Gaza. Of course, I voted against it. What it does do is cut off defensive Iron Dome capacities while allowing the actual bombs killing Palestinians to continue. Are you actually suggesting that the bombs that are being dropped on Gaza has anything to do with the Iron Dome? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. And as you could see how badly she got ratioed on this tweet, because Marjorie Taylor Greene brought forth an amendment to basically cut off aid to Israel, and Alex voted against it. And here she is making up her stupid, bubble-headed excuse about why it wasn't a good bill. She just cannot get out of her own way. And she's never going to, because she, in some half-baked way, actually thinks she's presidential material. There are people who blow enough smoke up her ass to make her think that she's presidentially capable. They really do.
I know. And here's what's really funny about that. And I see you guys all going back and forth about the different things about Anna Kasparian. Again, it's neither here nor there. I don't have things where I just like people for every single thing, or I don't like them for that's just not how it works. It's not how it works. I respect people that put in work, and I don't have to agree with them on everything. It's adulting. It's really not hard.
Yes.
But here's the thing that's ironic about all of this. Okay. Despite all of what we're all saying as to between Anna Kasparian and AOC, I would vote for Anna Kasparian before I would vote for AOC. For anything.
Sure.
In terms of maturity, judgment, level of work and effort and research that put in. And yeah, you're never going to agree with everything about somebody, but yeah, in terms of someone who's smart enough to be an executive person. Oh yeah. Alex is so out of her league.
And if we could just point out here, this is the end of Alex's statement. I have long stated that I do not believe that adding to the death count of innocent victims to this war is constructive to its end. That is a simple and clear difference of opinion that has long been established. I remain focused on cutting the flow of U.S. munitions that are being used to perpetuate the genocide in Gaza. It is not a war. It never was a war. Israel doesn't fight wars, just like it has been brought to our attention that Israel has no intention of sending soldiers to Karg Island with the United States. They're on their own. You go fight it.
They don't have them to send. They don't have them to send. They are having such problems internally in the IOF. They are falling apart. They are imploding.
Good.
And it's happening. Oh, absolutely. It's happening to them militarily. They're spread so thin. So yeah, they're capable of still keeping their boot on the neck of the Gazans, because that doesn't really require that much to just sit there and not let aid in. But between South Lebanon, what they've got going on in Syria, the fact that they've got so many, what we call them conscientious objectors, there we call them refuseniks, but they don't have the manpower. They just don't.